What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Soul coming at y'all with a double feature movie review. So, yesterday was Good Friday, and tomorrow is Easter Sunday. So, today I'm giving y'all a double feature film review of both Mary and The Passion of the Christ. And just celebration of the season and everything, you feel me? Because let's be honest, Jesus wasn't born in December, he was born in April, but that's a discussion for another video. So without further ado, let's get into this review. I'll be back. But before I go, spoiler alert. The following reviews will contain spoilers, so if y'all haven't seen either of these films at the time of this recording, both movies are on Netflix right now. Y'all go watch them. Y'all go check them out. Get back to this video as soon as y'all are done. Also, whenever y'all watch Mary, don't expect a Passion of the Christ performance. That's it. I'll catch y'all in a few.
And now, our feature presentation.
I don't know why, but I was chosen for this.
Mary, your birth was a gift for your mother and I. It was a miracle. But in exchange, I made a promise.
We have been waiting.
Great Herod, the prophecy speaks of the coming Messiah.
What need have we of a Messiah? Let it be understood, I am your king.
You are far more powerful than words, child. I don't understand how it is your will that I should marry this perfect stranger.
You are to have a son.
But that's not possible.
All things are possible. You've laid with a man.
No, Father, I need you.
You'll be put to death.
I'm gonna bring this child into the world with love.
I don't care what they say. I will love you as best as I can.
This Messiah, is he real? Has he been born? Where is he? Tell me! Where is he?
Love will cost you dearly. It will pierce your heart. But in the end, love will save the world.
I watched this movie twice. Fell asleep once. No, I still watch it twice. Because I woke up and I finished it. Watched it twice. It counts. I'm counting it because this movie's terrible. This movie sucks. I wanted it to be great. I wanted to enjoy it. And I give it a 7 out of 10. The reason that it's not higher is because the writing was abysmal. I do not know nothing about Mary as a historical figure aside from the fact that she was the mother of Jesus. I know that God had favor with her and that she was married to Joseph. And then that's all I know. And from what I've been told is God selected her because her family was from the region of prophecy that was prophesied in the Old Testament. That's all I know. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But back to the review. I give this a 7 out of 10 because the writing was so lackluster and abysmal, but the talent and the leads, they really stole the scenes in every single scene that they were in. It could have been an 8 or a 9, even possibly a 10 if it had better writing and better direction, but for what it is, solid 7 out of 10. The lady who played Mary, phenomenal actress. She knocked it out the park. Anthony Hopkins, with the role of Herod, phenomenal actor, knocked it out the park. They really showed the Mad King side of Herod. Hallucinations, we see that a lot with him. We see him with his dead wife, and we see him like really like talking to himself and people who aren't there, and they really delve into that. But I really wish that they would have went deeper with Mary and her backstory, because it seems like rather than focusing on her and like why God chose her to be the mother of Jesus, it's like, okay, in the beginning of the film we see like her family and her dad and how they were promised a child and how the child turned out to be Mary. And then like as Mary's coming up, we see her like playing with a friend or whatever. Then they send her off to the temple to train and to learn, the customs and the traditions and, the Torah, which is what they were taught during the time. Instead of seeing more of that and how like her life was, it focuses a lot on the political turmoil at the time. And I really wish that they would have just focused more on Mary and her upbringing. And every scene with her is phenomenal. She cracks jokes. She does the role well given the material that she was given to work with. And I really wish that we would have saw more of that, because she did such a phenomenal job. King Herod, hallucinations. I can't even say it right. Hallucinations. We see that, and it's crazy because he starts hearing this word about, there's going to be a Messiah, and he starts hearing, all these rumors and prophecies and everything, and he gets like insane, like he's going mad. He's pulling up on people, on his subjects, and asking them, like, hey, what's this with the King of Jews? Like, that's me, right? And they're like, no, you're not him, bro. He's like, what you mean you're not him? And then like he goes like on a killing spree, and it's just, why? It's not called King Herod, it's called Mary. I don't want to know about King Herod, I want to know about Mary. And if they would have just focused on her, it would have been like 10 times better, would have been phenomenal. This is a film, it was produced by Joel Osteen. Y'all already know how I feel about him, but that's a discussion for another video, because that's not, we just not going to be doing that today. But Mary, would I rewatch it for a third time? Maybe just for the meme. I don't plan on it anytime soon. Like 7 out of 10, only because of the actors. They steal all of the scenes. They made Joseph an atheist, which was really weird. Y'all just have to watch this for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. They made Joseph an atheist, which was really weird. Joseph was never an atheist. What else did they do? Movie has a lot of violence that's unnecessary, if you know what I mean. Like, they try putting, it's very, very disturbing. It's not that type of movie, but the violence that is there, it's like Game of Thrones levels disturbing for my Game of Thrones fans out there. It's very, very disturbing how they did it. And it seems like very, very out of place for me. Like, yeah, I get it, the time period and all, but still, it just felt out of place, especially like some of the scenes that I witnessed. I felt like they were out of place, and I just felt that they didn't belong. Very Game of Thrones-esque disturbing. Nothing too crazy, because, keep in mind it is PG-13. But it is what it is, what it will be, what we make of it. It does have language. It says in the description on Netflix that it has language. I didn't really see any. I didn't If I could talk right, that'd be awesome. I didn't really hear any language on there other than the word, whore or whatever, which, given the context of the story, y'all already know why that would happen. Lucifer was actually the one who calls her that. Like, they have, like, this weird, like, dream sequence with Mary. He calls her a whore, da-da-da. And Gabriel pulls up. And Gabriel is, like, the way they made him, like, you would think that heaven, like, had hoods. Because I promise, they made that boy look like a Crip. And it was like, you see, like, tattoos. He has all draped in, like, blue or whatever, and it's like, yo, y'all could have gave him like a white robe, gray something, but no, they decked him out in blue, and phenomenal choices of the actors who portrayed, both Lucifer and Gabriel. Phenomenal actors, by the way, given the role that they were given. But it just, some of the stuff seemed out of place. And, like, there was this one scene where Gabriel, he's helping with Mary, and then Lucifer pulls up and doing Lucifer things or whatever, and Gabriel's he calls Lucifer brother. And, at first I'm thinking, like, he called him brother, like, homie, like, hey, where you from? Like, check yourself or whatever. Or is it, like, brother, like, sibling? And why does it matter? Let me tell you why it does. Because, like, brother as, like, homie, brother as, like, friend and fam or whatever, it's like, okay, not related, just like, hey, what's up? But if it's brother, like, siblings or whatever, you deadass got people out here who think that Satan, Michael, Lucifer, Lucifer and Satan, they the same people, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you have people out here who think that all of these people are brothers and family anyway. And, Jesus warned us about false doctrine anyway. So that's why it matters. Context is very, very important. And I feel like this movie really missed the mark. I feel like it would have been better had it been under, better direction and had, sound doctrine behind it. But for what it's given, 7 out of 10. I'm not a fan of it like that. I'm not going to watch it a third time. If I do, it's going to be for the meme only. But enough ranting about this. There's really not too much to go on. The movie sucked. The movie was terrible. Rated PG, a lot of unnecessary violence. So if you're watching this with children, even though it is PG-13, just be mindful of that. So yeah, we about to get on to what we came for, and that's the review of The Passion of the Christ. That's the superior film and the better movie, in my opinion. And, that was a true indie film, and that was made like over 20, that movie came out in 2004. So y'all go get snacks, y'all go get popcorn, and I'll be back with this other review. All right, see y'all in a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
I'm having a lot of fun with this, by the way. Like, this is a lot of fun. Like, you can definitely tell that I'm having a lot of fun with this, learning what works, what doesn't. So, are y'all having fun? Comment below on what movie y'all want to see me do next. Anyways, back to the review. Alright, so y'all got y'all snacks. Y'all got everything y'all need? Alright, perfect. Let's get it. Passion of the Christ is a 2004 indie film directed by Mel Gibson. The film covers the final 12 hours of Jesus' time here on earth before he was arrested and tried before Pilate, leading to his death via crucifixion. The film opens up with a prophetic verse from the prophet Isaiah 53:5, which reads, "He was wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. By his wounds we are healed." At the time of this video, people all over social media are saying how Netflix censored this verse. I didn't have any problems with it, but you know what they say, blessed and highly favored, and God has his way of making things happen. So I don't know if y'all had a problem with that. I have no problems with it. And I got proof for y'all. Hold up. As you can see, your boy didn't have no problems. It worked perfect for me. Like I said, blessed and highly favored. God came through in the clutch. Back to the review. So, the film, the opening scene starts out in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus is praying and he is like, he's sweating blood. And like, they did it like so phenomenal. Yo, they did this phenomenally, right? It's so well written, so put together, and as dope and as awesome as Jesus is, like, we see him really be human as far as like anxiety and like fear, and we just see like his human side like almost overtake him, for lack of a better word. And it's like absolutely amazing because, you know, Jesus, he was flawless, he was perfect and everything, and just to see him praying like that and him sweating blood from the anxiety because he knew what was about to happen, is just the way that they captured that. It was just so beautiful, so phenomenal how they did it. So they're in the garden, Jesus is praying, he's sweating blood. Lucifer pulls up, but she's Satan, and the woman they got to play Satan, she did such a phenomenal job. It's like, I hate the actual Satan, I hate the real Satan, but the woman who they got to play the character of Satan in The Passion, she did such a phenomenal role of playing the character. Because like, y'all just have to watch. Y'all just have to check and see. All right, y'all just have to check it, because I'm about to show a clip, and y'all are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, because like the way they did her and how they portray her like as a mother figure, almost like as an evil opposite of Mary. It's phenomenal. Man, hold up. I gotta show y'all this clip so y'all see what I'm talking about. It's crazy how they did this.
Sinä otia pui. Kuma. Bezrati. Shabreni mereshetashe. Tomanu alai.
بکشتی امین هم بیا نشخد گهیل مهیر مبال لیگول حتی
Bıraksay nafşi adınay. Bırak siti. Bıraktı.
Leithai Anashtige Lagaina Yakir Sagi Yaka Bidion Nasha Leithai Anashge La Leithai
Abba. Kulet kehu. Hengehel. Kostige edemini. Aken lakisfar. Elohei dilla kisva.
Man är back. Man är...
Nej, Elohim. Beretzach. Rahim. Sveini Adonai. Elohei, Tirchach, Ben Meni. Shlach Orka, Wamiteka. Hima, Yamhom, Chomni. Elohei, Tirchach, Ben Meni.
Fatality.
Ugly motherfucker.
I had to throw in that reference because that was an ugly ass baby. But y'all get the glimpse. Y'all see how they made the character of Satan in the Passion of the Christ, how she seems like almost like an evil opposite of Mary, you know, mother and child and everything. Yo, it's phenomenal how they did that. I like it. I really love what they did with that. But back to the review. So in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus is praying. Satan releases the snake whenever Jesus is, you know, he seems like he's in pretty much pain. He seems like he feels defeated, but he doesn't. He gets up, basically hood stomps the snake like, boom, no. And Satan just you could tell, like, whenever I watch that scene, Jesus got that, he had that, like, are you serious, like, look? He's like, bro, like, are you for real? That's what the look that I saw personally. But how he just hood stomped that snake, though, it stomped him. That was great. I like that scene. So, the Garden of Gethsemane, the prayer, if y'all read in scripture, this happens like the night of. So Good Friday was the day that Jesus is brought to trial, right? He's brought to trial. So the Thursday before the Great Friday. So this is like right after midnight of the Great Supper, of the Last Supper. So he's in the garden, he's praying because he knows what's about to happen. Judas, he's speaking with the members of the Sanhedrin, and he gets 30 pieces of silver. Boy fumbled the bag. The streets ain't for everybody. Definitely not for him. He sold out Jesus, and after, you know, they came to arrest him, he wanted to go and he wanted to give the money back. But the Sanhedrin, they're like, nah, like, it's already been done. Like, be about what you was talking earlier. Like, the money's yours. And Judas like, nah, I don't want it. So he tries giving it back. That didn't work. So then, after they didn't take the money back, they basically like, yo, you put out a hit, no refunds. It's been done. Like, so Judas, realizing the error of his ways, he runs, and he all crying and everything, and he gets jumped by like some pickpockets, I guess, but they was like some demonic kids. I'm not gonna put it on the deal because I'm not trying to get demonetized or anything like that early on the first video like that. I'll say that I'm gonna like post something like way worse, but like Judas, he was a punk, and we don't celebrate that type of activity here on this channel. We don't support none of that. But he was a punk. He went about that life, and he offed himself. Like he checked himself out. Next to it was crazy because I'm gonna describe this scene without showing it to y'all because, like I said, I don't want YouTube to trip a fool, and they already like super strict. But so after he gets jumped by these like demonic hoodlums or whatever, he's out in the wilderness, and it's crazy because like beforehand, like after he ran or whatever, you hear a donkey. You hear a donkey like breathing and like crying, like not really crying, but you hear a donkey like you know the sound of a donkey make, right? So that's going on while he's getting jumped by these demonic hoodlums, these demon kids, literally demon kids, and they make fun of it. Like, oh, you got something else? You got you bleeding, and no, they was kidding them, right? And then they start chasing them out into the forest, out into the wilderness in the desert, right? I say forest, I'm just, I don't know what I mean. But they start chasing him, right? And like finally getting off, and like the donkey, which I'm assuming that it was the donkey that we heard from earlier, is laying right there, all like decayed and everything. Like you could tell, like the donkey, he checked out like a long time ago. He got his cut for the film, just like we out. So they got some extra for the donkey probably, you feel? You just play along. I know what I'm saying though. But check it though. So I'm thinking that it was a donkey that they heard earlier, right? He gets a rope from the donkey that they used to like lead the donkey, and he finds a tree, and y'all get the rest. Y'all, I ain't gotta go no further. Y'all already know what happened. If y'all, especially if y'all read the word like I do, y'all know what happened. So I won't have to go any further detail like that. Judas, like, he wanted him, and then so after that, it goes back to Peter and everything, and the whole 3 denial that happens, and he just go crying, and then like Mary, she tries, consoling him and everything. He's like, hey, nah, he was right. I did 3 times. Like you could tell, like he knew it was at this moment. He knew he fucked up. Like you could tell, like he was so sad, bro. And you could tell, like he was crying. Like Peter, that was him and Jesus. They was tight like that and everything. So after that, the 30 piece of silver, Judas kept, he tried turning it back in, couldn't do it, gets chased and jumped by the demonic kids, and then offs himself. And I thought the whole donkey deal I thought that was really dope. And then, Peter, that happens, denies him 3 times, he's sad, he cries, and then, let's see. Apologies for this. I have all my notes right here. So we're doing this. Let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all enjoying this? How can I be better at this? Y'all comment below if y'all have any suggestions. Alright, so after, the whole, after all of that happens, Jesus goes to trial, and pretty much during the trial, there was a flashback, and we see him building furniture. And I've seen this movie countless times, and it's just so phenomenal. And this scene, like, as many times I've seen it, this scene this time really, really stuck out. And let me show y'all that right quick.
Yeshua. Yeshua. Red.
Kena.
Lehemna. Hirin Segi.
Hi.
Lemanna.
Nash Karathir.
Ratzemekal. Qaim. Athirde.
Le. Ratse Mekal Kidna. Shokan Elaya. Karse Wan Elayan. La Obda Tepain.
Ulal min laitar.
Me.
La. Here dei fodak mistanef. Betramtin ul. Uasul yadayek.
I don't know why that scene just really stuck out to me, like, especially this time. And I've seen this movie, like, I don't know how many times, but this scene right there, like, you know how whenever we watch movies and you just, like, don't notice scenes until, like, certain times and then really will catch you, it's like, oh, snap. Yeah, that scene was very, what's that word for it? What I'm looking for. Very phenomenal. Very, motivational, for lack of a better word. And I'm about to find it in my notes. Watch what I say. Wholesome. It's a very wholesome scene. That makes sense for y'all. Hope it does. Alright. All in all, Passion of the Christ, solid 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it very much. Even if you're not a Christian, you have to respect it as a top tier cinematic masterpiece. The writing's phenomenal. It sticks with the story. It doesn't stray far from the path, and it does what it needs to do. It does, what they did what they were trying to do. And they stayed the course. They told the story. It was an accurate telling of the story. And it's just a phenomenal, cinematic masterpiece. The gore and the violence, it fits for what they were doing. And, if y'all are like me in the YouTube community, and, if y'all are Christians, then y'all know that people will be like, oh, they cut Jesus slack. They cut him some slack in that movie. As far as graphic as Passion of the Christ is, it's not as graphic as how it really was. Here's my response to that. If they were to make the Passion of the Christ as graphic and violent as it really was, like down to the letter of the pain and the suffering of Jesus, it would be NC-17, it would be banned from theaters, or they would have to do what Terrifier did and make it unrated. That is the only way that something like that would be allowed. And then I already know what's going to happen. Someone's going to do that, and people are going to be mad. They're going to find a way to complain like, this is demonic, this is blasphemy. Y'all know how they are. I'm part of this community, and I know how they are. I have people coming at me like that, be like, oh, you do this, you do that, you're not Christian. I'm just like, bro, calm yourself. Before you help out your brothers, before you get the deal out of their eye, check the splint in your own eye. Jesus said that. Y'all need to go back and read. But yeah, they did phenomenal, and they kept it at an R rating. It's perfect at an R rating as is. Like I said, if they were to go like above and beyond, like even if they were to remake the film 21 years later, if they were to go back and redo it, I don't think it would work the same. Like if they did a remake of Passion of Christ right now, I don't think it would work, because it was so perfect as is, and you don't want to touch it. Like, you can go and you could try to add the more gore and make it more gruesome and more realistic, and I think it would ruin the established product of what it has. Because I cried whenever I saw Jesus, like, I cried. Imagine what I would do whenever, it was, if they go, like, super, super realistic. Like, no, like, it won't work. Like, it'll have to be, if they do that, it'll have to be unrated. Or else, if they do pitch it to the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association of America, or whatever, it's going to be NC-17, and it'll be banned from theaters. Because apparently, like, NC-17, you're not allowed to. That's one of the reasons why I think Terrifier, they always stick with unrated. Which, how does that even, why is that even allowed? Yo, y'all need to do something about this. Congress, lawmakers, make it to where unrated can't be shown in theaters, period. But once again, sorry for another video. Yeah, it was pretty well written. The scenes were phenomenal. And I got one more deal to let y'all out with. And if y'all haven't seen Passion of the Christ, spoiler alert, I'm about to drop, some more of my favorite scenes before the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Let me know what y'all thought of this and how I can be better. Sorry for the whole new setup, but this is like short trial and error, seeing what works, what doesn't. If y'all like it, comment below. And what movie do y'all think I should do next? Comment below, let me know. And remember, for all things geek, gaming, and cinema, subscribe to the channel. We are Crime Scene. Peace.
إلهي! إلهي! لما سبتني يا داد.